Screen sharing is an option you use probably most every time you have a meeting. However, you may not be aware of some of the advanced options. The first thing I want to remind you is how you can allow someone else to share on your screen. For safety purposes, we have it switched so that others can't share their screen unless the host gives them permission. But how do we change that if somebody in our group needs to share? If you go down to your share screen button, there's a little triangle to the right of it. Once I click on that, I'm going to choose advanced sharing options. And then from advanced sharing options, it says who can share, only host. I can quickly change that to all participants, and then others can be able to share. So that's a quick thing to know in advance. And then once you go to share your screen, we have lots of options on here. And I do want to remind you that there is a difference between sharing your desktop and sharing a specific app. And one of the reasons for sharing a specific app is that you aren't sharing anything you didn't mean to. For example, if I were going to share my Google Chrome screen, then I wouldn't accidentally share, for example, my Skyward attendance or a gradebook or something like that. However, if you are going to be popping from item to item, meaning from Chrome to maybe your Sphere for your document camera, then you'll want to be able to choose desktop so you can actually click from item to item without stopping the share. What you may not have ever looked at before is this advanced option up here on the top. When I click on advanced, it gives me some other choices. One of them is in beta testing right now, is where you can take slides, so for example, either PowerPoint or Keynote slides, and put them as your virtual background. So that means that your slides will show up behind you as you're talking. And then you can practice your skills like a weather person, and you can be pointing to those so as you're teaching, so it's actually showing up right behind you. If I click this option and then click share, then I can go and load a keynote that I'd already created. This is going to take a little time. It does say preparing slides here. And then it shows up as my slides in my background, so that I can actually be presenting real small in the corner, but be able to see the information behind me. And I could be pointing to things if I needed to. This brings up my whole slide deck so I could progress through the slides. And this might be a great option if you're doing some recording as well in your Zoom meetings. All I have to do then is stop share to go back to where I was. Another option I have in the advanced part of sharing screen is portion of the screen. So if I click on that and hit share, and then I go out to what I wanted to share with my group, I can resize this box to go around my slideshow. And so only this portion of my screen is actually being shared rather than the whole screen. And so I can continue to read things that are in my speaker notes, or I can progress on to the next slide if I'd like to. But again, it just shares only a portion of my screen. Another advanced feature that can be kind of fun is music or computer sound only, so that if you wanted to have some music playing for something, you could. And then if you do have a second camera connected, you can share content from a second camera as well. So all of those are some advanced sharing options.